If you would like to know who the Greeks were and where they came from, you will enjoy this. The ancient Greeks emerged throughout 700 to 370 before Christ. They are well known for their philosophers who founded the bases of knowledge for many scientific and mathematical theories, including Pythagoras' theorem and surds in maths, and atoms in the heliocentric solar system in science. This is referred to as the Classical Age, 480 to 370 BC. The ancient Greeks started many years before that, with many city-states named after their unique god who would protect them against their enemies. These were first ruled by kings, which would develop into the first democracies of the world. Originally, the ancient Greeks were divided and lived in separate villages, engaging in trade of primitive goods and equipment with nearby villages. However, the bring of the Bronze and Iron Age meant new equipment and resources could be forged, giving Greece's villages greater income and eventually allowing them to build up into city-states. Each city-state was named after a god who would protect them in combat against their enemies, including other city-states, Persia, and Egypt. These city-states brought diverse communities and began giving humans different professions and allowed the rise of great thinkers. Greece, as I have mentioned previously, was divided into many Greek city-states, which would engage in war and military aggression against each other, making alliances rare and mostly impossible. The city-states were ultimately unified through the conquests of Alexander the Great of Macedonia, who let Greek cities continue independent rule under the overall guidance of Macedonia. Because of this, Greek cities would divert less time fighting amongst each other and would bring progress in science, art, mathematics, politics, and language. Over the many years of ancient Greece, many famous philosophers emerged, leading the way to modern-day science and theology, most famous of which deriving from Socrates, who were Plato and Aristotle, studied in Socrates' school, which would question idealistics and ideas for the centuries BC. Aristotle grew so famous that he was asked by the king of Macedonia to teach and advise Alexander the Great. The ancient Greek culture was built around the ancient Greek religion. The ancient Greeks made exquisite architecture and participated in diverse festivals to please their gods who would bless and help them through their lives. Different gods stood for different ideals and themes. The most famous of them are Zeus, the god of thunder, and Poseidon, the god of the sea. Over many years, the Greeks were the top of the ancient world, only rivaled with the Arabs and the Egyptians in their mathematics and science. But as most ancient nations, they took their last stand with the Romans. One of the most famous battles was at Cyprus, in which Archimedes used his genius contraptions to hold out against the Roman army for 3 years, and to eventually be destroyed by a traitor rather than the might of the Romans.